everyone, it's Kathy here and I'm very happy to share with you my completed album using the Sherlock Book, which you can purchase from Meg's Garden. Again, these papers are available as a digital format and as a physical format, both of which you can purchase from the Meg's Garden store. So I'm going to go through the way I embellished and decorated my book. For this particular mini album, I used paper bags, and to create this particular mini album, I followed a tutorial, as I've never created an album such as this before, following Ginger from my sister Scrapper's tutorial on YouTube. And I also used a hidden hinge binding system, which is created by Kathy Orta, which I also followed on YouTube to create this particular mini album. The embellishments and interactiveness I designed myself. So to create the mini album you need some paper bags, and paper bags that I used are these party bags, which I purchased from Sparty's, which is the party supply section at Spotlight. These are available in 2 different sizes, and I purchased the large size in black. And these actually fit perfectly dimension-wise in relation to the Sherlock Book pages. So if you're interested in completing a mini album using the envelope style, these paper bags are perfect. They come in different colours. Unfortunately, craft is not a colour that was available, but I found that the black worked perfectly in this particular project. And as I go through the pages, you'll see how well black actually looks. So, as I said, Sparty section in Spotlight. The front cover uses pages from the Sherlock Book, and there are some cover pages and spine pages which you can use. So I've gone for the darker look because I wanted my album to be really vintagey. I used a chipboard title and I inked it with black, and I used some Lindy's Stamp Gang embossing powder, and I just sprinkled it in sections so it was random, and heat embossed it, and it matches quite nicely with the rustic look of the papers. This was part of some of the metal embellishments that you can get from Meg's Garden. The flowers are from my stash. These fibres you can actually purchase from Meg's Garden. This is also this locket from Meg's Garden, and these trinkets are from my stash. In my previous album I went crazy with the metal trinkets and I was running very low, so I went to my stash to supplement the metal trinkets to really make this a vintage looking album. To complement the vintageness of this album, on the front I added some black lace to where the papers meet at the spine. On the side I added some beads and these lovely teardrops, crystal teardrops, and another metal embellishments and some chiffon ribbon, and on the back some more of the lace and another metal trinket, and this one is actually available from Meg's Garden. Again, I did the same ribbon treatment. I used hot glue to secure the ribbon, and then I added the metal pieces, again measuring the distance and finding my halfway mark. I also dry fit because you need to make sure that your ribbon doesn't go past your metal trinket, so that's also important as well. Now for the inside of the album, one thing with this particular style of album is that you need a lot of paper, and I certainly used every scrap of paper from the Sherlock Book to create this mini album. To supplement some of the interactiveness of this particular style, I used scraps that I had from the, not from the Sherlock Book, but from the Gentleman's Collection. It also complements this paper line beautifully. So if you are considering this style of album, either buy 2 kits or buy this kit as well as the Gentleman's Collection. So inside, I've left the front cover blank. At this point, I'm happy to have it blank. Later on, I might decide when I'm actually filling my album that I might add a pocket. At this point, I'm happy to leave it. With this particular style of album, the pages work in the same way as you saw in the construction. So you've got the papers have a flap that fold out. Inside the first part, there is a pocket, and they're decorated in the same way. So you can put either your photo on the front and then add a piece of paper on the back and journaling on the back. And I found that when you insert it, the front part of the paper bag for easy insertion. So each particular paper bag has one of these. I also staggered the tab as well. Okay, so here we go. On the first page, I have a photo mat here, and I've actually raised it so the die cut is actually glued to the base, so my photo can go straight on top. I've called this one Timeless. I've used some chipboard pieces, and my love affair with die cuts continues, and I've die cut some leaves using some of the papers so that it corresponds, and inked the edges and nice flourish. I've used this same vintage punch throughout so that it's consistent. Inside, I've got these pockets and envelopes with some scraps. I use stamps from my stash in this album to help personalise the pages. Because there are so many pages in this particular album, I wanted to try and kickstart how I might go about in completing this album. And I went through all my stamps because I have quite a number of stamps. So the way that I've completed this album is that the pages are the base and I've just built from that. I've got quite a number of stamps, and I use stamps that have dates that are vintage in style that will complement the papers. So I've got a lovely tag here that I use from scraps, and I also bought a crocodile, so I wanted to learn how to use it. Helps to read the instructions, I've discovered. So that was another reason why I've got extra tags. So all the scraps were used as well. So I've got this journey, and I've propped it up on foam tape so it adds as a closure for the envelope. I haven't decided what can go in here, but you could put a photo or some little mementos. I've added some washi tape to add some extra touches to this paper. I've got some tags. This is a stamp that I had, and these are parts of the Sherlock Book collection. For some of my decorations and embellishments, I've kept the black theme going through to make it consistent, and black with these papers, as you can see, is really striking, and I'm really pleased with that effect, and it really helps you have that consistency throughout your album. Second page, and this is the back of the first page. I've added some ephemera, which is part of the kit as well. You can either use this as a photo mat or as some journaling. These are tags which are from the kit, and I've just used some black raffia to add some decorations to them, and just added some washi tape. Again, I've used the punch on the pocket to link and to add consistency, and I've added some metal trinkets to add some interest and to decorate these pockets. I didn't want to add too much because with this particular style of album you can't make it too bulky, but you can still add embellishments as long as they're flat. If you do want to add some embellishments, it's best to do it either on this page or on this section here. If you do it here, then this needs to be flat. I've used this page here to do journaling. So these are some stamps that I had, and I've just folded them over to fit within this die cut frame, and I've used some stamps here to add journaling spaces. Inside I've created a pocket for some tags, and these are tags from the kit which I've cut down, and I've just added a staple here just for a bit of fun. On this page here I've created another pocket, and I've used stamps. I've got quite a number of these stamps, and then once I started using these I started creating themes around them, and you'll see what happens. So this evolved as the process went on. Another journaling section, and you might want to put a photo on the back, and this is also from the kit. And the back of this page I've added some ephemera and metal trinket, which I've added a flower. With the metal trinkets that I've used throughout in my embellishments, I've applied hot glue to attach them to my book. I used liquid glue, but they just didn't hold into place, so I applied these right at the end. So hot glue works best for me. Here is another of these stamps, and I've inked the edges with walnut stain, and that really makes them look very vintagey. And this is a really nice die cut, and this is a place for journaling. So this covers up, and it's got the butterfly theme, which is why I've chosen these two to go together. You lift this up and you can put some journaling inside. Again, this was the last of the lined paper which comes with the Sherlock Book kit. This is a stamp, another stamp, and I've just made it pop by using a die cut and also foam tape. This is part of the Sherlock Book. It's a pocket which I've attached, and I've added a tag inside, which you can either use as a photo mat or for some journaling. Here is the back, more stamping and some more ephemera and another tag, more stamping that I've used, and these sorts of stamps worked really well, so it helps you document and keep a track of special events. So this mini album could also be viewed as like a mini journal as well, if you want to keep track of certain events, which is really nice. So this is another opportunity for journaling. And here is another one of those stamps. So I've got things which sort of link. There's a bit of a theme. So imagine, set me off. So believe and curious. Here is another one of those pockets. Again, it's raised on foam tape, so it adds like a closure so that you can add things to it. For this particular page, I found that flowers such as these cherry blossoms work well, and these were ones that I made myself, and just to add a bit of prettiness to it, I fussy cut these flowers out, butterflies out rather, because I just love butterflies, as you can see from some of my other projects. And now the back, another one of the leftover tags and another stamp, and I fussy cut that stamp out as well. Some more ephemera and of course another tag. This is a photo mat this time, and this is a prettier page, and I've used some flowers and die cuts. And with all my photo mats, I've used the same stamp to have a consistency, but of course, you know, you can use whatever photo, but it's a really nice base to have in the meantime. Inside, so we've got the love theme started now, so here's my love, and I created a pocket, and I used some scraps here just to fill up that black space. And here, this is part of the kit, this embellishment. I thought love letter. You could use this for photo mat on the back or some journaling. I die cut a black heart and added some flowers. With these pockets, there's room for you to add some other things at later dates, so that gives you some flexibility as well. This is also a card from the kit, and I've just scored here and left it blank on the back because I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for, but I really like the way that it complements this paper. So it could be a photo mat or opportunity for some journaling, because we've still got all of these in all of the pockets as well. So lots of opportunities for photos and for adding embellishments. The back, we've got our pocket, and I added some more to the love theme, and these flowers and metal embellishments here, and I've added some washi tape because this paper was very solid. It just needed something extra. Some stamps here, and this bingo card, which is a stamp that I've added. As I said, I supplemented my embellishments with stamps because you use a lot of paper in this particular style album, and it also helps to start that personalisation process. This is the final page, so photo mat and inspire is the theme. On the back, this is a journaling section, and this is a stamp. I've used this stamp earlier on in the album. Some more stamps. This stamp set has a lot of inspirational quotes, so I used that in the last section. And that lovely butterfly just fits, is a stamp, and I thought it would look really nice there. And here we go, I've used some more ephemera. So these tickets are part of the kit, so and this ephemera is a movie ticket, so it's rather a ticket to the British Museum, so I added that to this particular pocket. Here's more of that stamp set. I just stamped this tag. Again, it blended in, so it just needs something to make it stand out. So it was part of that stamp set, and again, that movie theme works well. Again, I've kept this page blank because I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but there's opportunities to add either a waterfall like I did in the last album, or another pocket to add more tags or photos. So as you can see, if you create this style of album, you can fit a lot, but you will need a lot of paper in order to do that. So I used every bit of the collection to create this album, and it didn't take me that long, but I had a great time in creating this particular album. So these papers dictated my design, and the stamps helped to personalise and helped me think about how I was actually going to use the pages. So if you have a lot of stamps, then that's an option that you can think about in embellishing your particular album. So my second album using the Sherlock book, very different to my first album, which I'll bring out and show you here. Two different styles of mini albums, and both very different, but a lot of fun to do. So if you're interested, you can purchase these from Meg's Garden. I will have links in the description to Meg's Garden where you can purchase the physical and digital download for these papers from Meg's Garden, as well as embellishments and metal trinkets. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope that you'll give this style of album a go. Thanks so much, and have a great day.